Hey guys, it's your boy On Guard, here with a Turbo Urshifu deck profile. So this list is meant to be very, very aggressive in the early game and try to stream rapid flows as quickly as possible. It's very favored against things like Lost Box, especially when they don't play Mana Fee. It's good against decks that are Arceus-based. It's good against things that are essentially... It's good at putting early pressure onto the board and putting damage around the field against anything that doesn't really play Mana Fee. So, let's get into it. So, starting off, we have 1, 2, 3 Urshifu V. Then we have 1, 2 Urshifu V Max. Following that, we also have some other water-type attackers in this build, because it's a heavy Melanie build that wants to swing as aggressively as possible. So we have 1, 2 Empoleon V, then we have 1 Suicune V, and we also have a Drapion V for the Mew matchup. The Empoleons are really good for shutting down basic engines, it's good against Regis, it's good against Lost Zone, it's good against Miltank. Suicune is really good for fixing math against other things. Basically, the Empoleons together with the Urshifus practically auto-wins Blissey Miltank, and Suicune is good for against those like VMAX or V-Star decks that it's hard to get the knockouts on. You can put like 120 on 2 targets with Urshifu and then clean up either of the knockouts with Suicune, because most of the time they want large benches, other than the tank decks, which are generally more easily dealt with by Urshifu anyway. After that, we have a pretty heavy banette line here. We have 1, 2, 3 shuppets. Generally, I would play a 2-2 line, but there's about 2 flexible spaces in this list, and you'll see why. We have 2 of the Lost Zone banette, the one with Puppet Offering. This allows you to get a supporter card out of your discard pile and bring it into your hand, and in doing so, sends this Pokemon and everything it evolved from into the Lost Zone. Anything that was attached to it, energies, tools, all of that goes to the discard pile. In addition to that, we also have one of the devolution bannettes, so we can devolve something that might have evolved out of damage range from Rapid Flow, so we can double Rapid Flow 2 targets and take 4 prizes in that way. I do think that it is possible to cut the banette and shuppet in this list. After Silver Tempest, I would definitely be cutting them for the Earth Tablet, the one that is a V-Star power that lets you put all V Pokemon down to 100 HP by placing damage counters on them, so I think that that is a very good addition to this deck. But in this particular build, you might want to swap them for 2 Telescopic Sight, 2 Choice Belt, a Suicune, and a Marnie maybe, because the deck does kind of need some disruption. It does not currently play disruption, so that's 2 slots that you might want to swap for something else, or keep playing with the Devolution Banette. Then on top of that, we also have a Remoraid and an Octillery, great for being able to search out your Rapid Strike pieces, your Rapid Strike energies, etc., etc. On top of that, we also have a Radiant Greninja for the Concealed Cards ability. It lets you discard an energy from your hand and draw 2 cards. On top of that, we also have a Lumineon for being able to search our deck for a supporter card. Very good for being able to get early game Melanie plays off. Then we have a Crobat for some burst draw to be able to draw until we have 6 cards in hand. On top of that, we also have 4 Melanie. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the main supporter of the deck, and this is going to be able to accelerate a water energy to one of our Pokemon in play. It could be an Empoleon, Suicune, Urshifu, draw 3 cards, and then if you also have a Rapid Strike energy or another water energy, you can go Melanie, attach, you could 100 Furious Blows on the first turn, you could Swirling Slice with Empoleon on the first turn and move energy over, you could even use Blizzard Rondo with Suicune in order to do a bunch of damage early game with Suicune as well, or in the mid game, you could continue to Melanie attach to be able to stream Rapid Flows pretty easily. So I think it's very good to have a thick line of Melanie, although you could shake up the count a little bit, because you have the ability to just kind of get supporters back from the discard pile using the banette line, but for now, it is a 4 count of Melanie and 2 Boss's Orders. These 2 bosses' orders are for you to be able to gust around things. Sometimes you want to just focus down a Manaphy, or sometimes you just want to Gale Thrust into a specific target, and that is completely fine. So 2 boss has been a very good count for this deck. On top of that, we also have our ball search counts, which we have 4 quick balls, followed by 4 ultra balls. And then also, we have 2 Battle VIP Pass. With this deck, it's pretty easy to draw into them turn 1. We only play 2, so they're not much of a liability. You can use Radiant Greninja, you can use Crobat, you can use Lumineon plus Melanie in order to draw into things further. Most of the time, you'll be hitting a Battle VIP Pass. Probably not both of them, but hitting one of them is just enough to do what you want to do. On top of that, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4 trekking shoes. This is another thing that helps us very quickly dig into the Battle VIP Pass range. So we've got 4 of these. And it also helps us discard water energy pretty early. If you hit a water energy off trekking shoes, that gets it into discard for you to be able to Melanie super early, so that is always good. Then we have 2 Capacious Bucket for energy search. It is great to be able to search out energy as quickly as possible in your deck. On top of that, we also have 2 Escape Ropes. This is good for phasing things to the bench, especially paired with the devolving banette. If you hit into something like an evolved up VMAX, you can then escape rope it to the bench, devolve it, and then maybe take a cheeky knockout just via devolution, or take a cheeky knockout on something that was half hit, devolve it, and then finish it off with a rapid flow. So that's always good as well. On top of that, we also have 2 air balloons. Double air balloon is very good. It's nice for being able to pivot. And on top of that, we have another pivot option in our 2 Tower of Waters. On top of that, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4 Rapid Strike energy. These are going to be able to very easily streamline rapid flows, swirling strikes. Swirling strike is also really good for just hitting for 130, softening something up, and then moving a Rapid Strike energy to an Urshifu to help set up for either a Rapid Flow or a Gale Thrust play. 130 plus 150 is very nice for being able to hit that 280 knockout range. So I think that is a very good inclusion in this list. I mean, obviously you're playing a lot of Rapid Strike energies, but the Empoleon with the Urshifu pairing I think is very good, especially with the Turbo Melanie engine. On top of that, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 water energy rounding out the list. This has been a very good number for being able to consistently get one into your hand, using Capacious Bucket to put into your hand, and then Radiant Greninja away, draw 2 more cards, then Quick Ball for Lumineon, Melanie attach. It's been very good to be able to streamline onto this. I don't know if this build is 100% like the best way that this can be made. You might want to go down to 3 Melanie and a Raihan, maybe to be able to just Raihan search out the Rapid Strike energy attach. That might give you some more room if you want to potentially cut the artillery line. But this is the list that we have for now, and I've been enjoying it so far. So I hope you guys enjoy this list. Feel free to play around with it, tweak it if you want, and I hope you enjoy this Turbo Urshi list. And I think it'll only get better going forward. I think this list will be so good with the Earth tablet that comes out in Silver Tempest, and I cannot wait to play it with it. Hope you enjoyed the list, and I will catch y'all later.